Morning all. We saw this one coming 20 miles away, didn't we? Stevie Wonder could have saw this fucker coming. He could wiggle his head and hum a bit to use echolocation and figure out that Dame Cressida Dick was going to be apologising to Bianca Williams for distress after a stop and search. You just knew it. For my American listeners, because I'm assuming all the British ones, unless they live in a cave, have already heard about it and know everything about it because it's been on the fucking news for 72 hours because nobody seems to care about real news any fucking more. The story is this one, and I'll take it from the New York Times, which is, as far left as you can go and still be considered a real newspaper. Because I don't want to be accused of being biased, do I? It says London police stop star athletes setting off racial profiling debate in England where they don't kill any fucking black people. Bianca Williams, a European gold medalist, accused the officers of targeting her and her partner, a fellow sprinter, because they is black in it and drive an expensive car. Yeah, police officers searching the car of Bianca Williams and Ricardo dos Santos. It says London, the couple, a top British sprinter and a Portuguese track star, were driving their Mercedes through the elegant Maida Vale neighbourhood in West London, their 3-month-old son in the back seat, when a police van appeared in their rear-view mirror. The athletes, Bianca Williams, 26, and Ricardo dos Santos, 25, soon found themselves surrounded by officers before being hustled from their vehicle and placed in handcuffs as the police searched the car. Ms Williams, a European and Commonwealth gold medalist in the 4x100 metre relay, accused the London Metropolitan Police of racial profiling, saying her family was targeted because they are black and drive an expensive car. Yeah, we know the British police do that. They go, definitely haven't committed a crime, probably going to cause a massive media shitstorm because the British fucking press is ruled by social justice warriors and effete middle-class wankers that are born and raised down south and go to fucking posh universities surrounded by twats that have no real-world experience and have got the common sense of a fucking shoe. The police said in a statement that they had pulled over the car because officers witnessed a vehicle with blacked out windows, driving suspiciously, including driving on the wrong side of the road. Well, fuck. Because I'm sure if I was driving in a car with blacked out windows, driving suspiciously, including on the wrong side of the fucking road, I'm sure they definitely wouldn't pull me over. And how the fuck did they know exactly who's driving it when all the windows are blacked out? How about, if you don't want to get pulled over, don't drive fucking Delroy the drug dealer's blacked out Mercedes? How about driving a fucking cheeky Chenko or a Fiat 500, you fucking dopey cunt? Here's the official statement, by the way. At around 13:25 on Saturday, 4th of July, officers from the Territorial Support Group were patrolling in the W9 area in response to an increase in violence involving weapons. Officers witnessed a vehicle that was being driven in a manner that raised suspicion, heavily braking and accelerating and driving on the wrong side of the road. They indicated for it to stop, but it failed to do so. So it didn't even stop when they tried to fucking pull them over and accelerated off. The officers caught up with the vehicle and then the driver refused to get out of the car. Fucking, do I need to go on? Like, I feel like I could just stop this video here and now. And everyone will think, yeah, fair enough, reasonable. I'll even throw in the occupants are a young, athletic 25 and 26-year-old. Guess who does most of the crime? It's 14 to 36-year-old men. If you're a 25-year-old man and you're driving a fucking 50 grand drug dealer car with blacked out windows, zigzagging all over the place, massively accelerating the tits off it for no reason, which is what this is going to be. Heavily braking and accelerating, he's showing off in his fucking 50 grand car, driving it like a twat, slamming the anchors on every time they see a speed bump, and then thrashing the baps off it again when he can. He's a 25-year-old man in a 50 fucking grand car with blacked out windows driving like an absolute cunt. As I said, do I need to continue? But I will, out of fucking morbid curiosity, if nothing else. So after the driver refused to get out of the car, the occupants were informed they were being detained for the purposes of a search under the Section 1 Police and Criminal Evidence Act. Perfectly reasonable, they were being mega suspicious and they drive a drug dealer car. They were both handcuffed due to the officers' views, which took into account the manner in which the vehicle was being driven and the vehicle was attempting to evade the police and drove off when the police signalled for them to stop and refusing to get out of the vehicle. They found nothing and they were sent on the way. Done. Perfectly reasonable. Nobody got shot. Nobody got beat up. The cops didn't go, hello, hello, hello. Two fucking darkies, get out the car, you filthy foreign ragamuffins, or any of that shit. They didn't do anything wrong. So who's outraged? Seriously, who? After reading that official statement of what happened and why they decided to pull them over, they didn't say, oh yeah, two very nice black people in a fucking lesbian hairdresser's 1200cc Fiat were pulled over for being reasonable and polite. And when we signalled them to stop, they stopped. And when we asked them to get out the car, they did. But we pulled them over anyway because they're black. It didn't say any of that. It said driving a dealer's car like a maniac, thrashing the tits off it, fucking telling the police to fuck off, refusing to get out the car, refusing to stop, just being an absolute cunt in general in your fucking blacked out windows, Mercedes, stereotypical Jamaican drug dealer car. It says they were kept cuffed for about 45 minutes as police searched the car and were eventually released. It's a really sad world that we live in, and if it's not one black man, it's another black man, Miss Williams said. My heart hurts. My fucking head hurts, love, so we're both in pain, aren't we? A video of the account was posted by fucking Linford Christie. God. Racist police just aren't in America. Listen, Linford. We've all seen the crime statistics, mate. Considering how much fucking bother one specific community causes in the fucking UK, I'm amazed our police aren't fucking racist. But they aren't. And they kill less than 10 black people over a period of 10 years, and that figure includes suicides. So, yeah, it's not a problem in England. They have basically perfected soft policing. Perfected it. And then, obviously, Dame Cressida, the fucking police commissioner in comfortable shoes, has apologised to Team GB sprinter Bianca Williams after the athlete was involved in a stop and search. They didn't do anything wrong, Cressida. Stop being a twat. And who the fuck drives like that when you've got a 3-month-old son in the car? How about give them a bollocking for driving like cunts with a kid in the car and fine them £75 for fucking dangerous driving? How about that? They shouldn't be getting off scot-free for what they did. It's the exact opposite of the truth. I don't think it's reasonable for them to behave in the way that they did. And I'm sure everybody watching this video, because you're such a splendid bunch of visionary geniuses because you follow me, I'm sure you all agree with me. My senior officer said I'm sorry to Miss Williams for the distress it has caused her, and I say that too. If there are lessons to be learned from it, we will learn them. Well, there aren't, so don't worry about it. You don't have to learn fuck all, love. Take the night off. Go and fucking hang out with the women's rugby team or whatever it is you like to do in your free time. I don't believe I do run a police service in which handcuffing is routine, having seen a number of issues raised over the last several weeks. I've said to one of my seniors, can you please review our handcuffing practices to make sure it hasn't become a default, because it shouldn't do, and I'm sure it doesn't. Miss Williams told LBC Radio she believes that they were stopped because the car they were driving was all black and her partner is a black man. No, you were stopped because you were driving like fucking Helen Keller, you silly, daft cunt. 25-year-old man driving like he was pissed in a dealer's car. End of discussion. Moving on. The Met said the officers who carried out the search had been patrolling in the area in response to an increase in youth violence involving weapons. They stopped the vehicle that was seen travelling the wrong side of the road and made off at speed from the officers. What the fuck? Right, anyway, I'll draw a line under this. I summed it up in 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. She shouldn't be apologising, the fucking wet blanket. Bianca Williams is a twat, and a Portuguese husband is a fucking knobhead with chips on both fucking shoulders. At least he's nice and balanced. Maybe that's why he's a track star. I'm going to finish on this because I think it sums up my point nicely. We have a choice to make, ladies and gentlemen. We have a choice to make, both in the UK and in the United States. A very simplistic one. This weekend, according to the Chicago Sun-Times, there was 18 murders in 24 hours, the most violent day in 60 years in Chicago. We've never seen anything like it at all, said Max Kapustin, the Senior Research Director at the University of Chicago Crime Lab. Well, Max, I have, because unlike you, I obviously read history books. Every single time we embark on a period of demonising the police, cutting the funding, and effectively handcuffing them, handcuffing the police, not the criminals, you get a spike in violent crime every single time. Why would this be any different? It says from 7 p.m. Friday, May 29th through 5 a.m. Monday, June 1st, 25 people were killed in the city with another 85 wounded by gunfire. No fucking shit. That is worse than when I was in fucking Helmand province. We didn't get fucking 85 people wounded by gunfire in one weekend. So well done, lefty communist twats. This is the brave new world you've fucking created. It says the next highest murder total for a single day was on August 4th, 1991, when 13 people were killed in Chicago. Guess where else it was kicking off? New York City, shootings doubled for third straight week. Hundreds injured in gun violence spike, July 5th, 2020. Victims of gun violence in New York City are in the hundreds as NYPD data shows shootings have more than doubled over the same period last year. Why would that be? Surged over the last 7 days by 142% compared with the same time period in 2019. Fucking marvellous. Some of the youngest victims include recent high school graduate and basketball star 17-year-old Brandon Hendricks. Fucking poor little cunt. 19-year-old Erica Lopez of Connecticut was shot and killed steps away from Madison Square Park, and a few hours earlier, a 7-year-old girl was grazed by gunfire. A 7-year-old girl. Where else has it been kicking off as well? Atlanta. I wonder if anything's happened in Atlanta. Oh look, an 8-year-old girl's just got shot in the face. Weird. Weird that. I mean, there can't be any possible reason for it fucking massively kicking off in Atlanta, can there? Oh yeah, that's where Rashad Brooks was shot after punching a policeman in the face 40 times, grabbing his taser and firing it at him, and then inevitably getting shot himself, and everyone going nuts, blaming the police for it, and burning a fucking Wendy's down, even though it had fuck all to do with Wendy's. Yeah, well there you go, that's what you get. Police have released new video and surveillance photos from its investigation of the shooting death of an 8-year-old girl. Fuck me. The shooting happened not far from Wendy's on University Avenue where Rashad Brooks was shot and killed last month. I rest my fucking case. Do I need to go on? Seriously, do I need to go on? Atlanta. Fucked. New York. Fucked. Chicago. Fucked. And now London. Fucked. This is the choice rug-munching, shit-for-brains, social justice warrior Dame Cressida Dick needs to make. Do we surrender the streets to criminal elements that happen to be black because of the colour of their skin? Or do we police the streets and keep the streets safe for the black communities that live in these places where the fucking vast majority of them are not criminals and they want to be about their business and go to work and raise their families and feed their children and go to the park and walk the fucking dog without the risk of getting stabbed in the eye by a fucking drug dealer? Pick one, because that's the stark choice, ladies and gents. There is no middle ground here. If the police are effectively handcuffed to the point where they see someone driving a fucking car like a madman in a suspicious way, in a suspicious car, in a suspicious fucking area, and the police have to start turning a blind eye to it because they're so terrified that the person they're going to pull over for suspicious behaviour might happen to be black, then we will surrender the streets entirely to the criminal elements. They will have carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they like. They will rule the fucking streets with an iron fist, and there will be a drug dealer on every single corner, a rapist in every park, and a pedo on every playing field. I don't know how else to put it. You either police the streets or you don't. And if you don't, you surrender the streets to the criminal elements. We need to make a fucking choice. It's not a coincidence that New York City shootings doubled for the third straight week. We know why it happened. It's obvious cause and effect. So pick one, Londoners. Pick one. Go with Dame Cressida fucking shit lips and Sadiq couldn't run a fucking piss up in a brewery can, or pick people that are going to enforce the law properly and equally for everyone. Can have its negative sides, and occasionally you will get drama when the police are a bit heavy-handed or they pull over the wrong person, but it's better to be pulled over by accident when you're not doing anything wrong than it is to surrender the streets to fucking scum and have normal people scared to go outside. It's that fucking simple. And Jesus, one more thing. Bianca Williams already said she wants a fucking lawsuit. Of course she does. This is one of the problems. Our irresponsible media has got it to the point where normal black people are basically going, okay, if I get pulled over, rather than just do what everybody else does when they get pulled over and it's annoying, and simply complying with the police's reasonable demands so they can get on with the day quicker. They've now realised that if they kick off and make a fucking fuss and refuse to get out the car and drive away from them, they might be able to get a lawsuit out of it and they might be able to make some easy money. It's fucking criminally irresponsible to promote this type of thing because you're just going to increase the level of needless interaction with, by now, understandably pissed off police officers. This needs to stop. If you get pulled over or you get stopped by the police and it's annoying, well, get used to it. Life's annoying. But it's better to just get on with your day, isn't it, than go mental on the off chance you're going to get a lawsuit out of it. You might think it's going to be some easy money, but it also might lead to you getting shot in the fucking head if you're in America, or locked in a cell all day if you're in England. Just stop being a twat because you think you can get some fucking free money out of it. I'll tell you a true story, right? After the London bombings, so 2005, I was based at 40 Commando at the time, and I was travelling home because I got a long weekend a couple of weeks after the bombings. And I was travelling home on the train and I changed at Leeds because you have to change a lot to get back to Middlesbrough. It's like fucking land of the dong and no mainline stations go anywhere near it. It's the armpit of England. And these fucking coppers pulled me over, right? I'm there strolling along with my backpack on. And it wasn't even a military one. I'm not a scruffy bastard. It was like my blue Berghaus fucking backpack. And these two coppers fucking popped out of nowhere and said, we have to check your bag. As I was like changing trains. And I said, all right lads, what's the crack? And they said, we have to check your backpack. And I said to him, it's all right lads here. And I got my ID out of my wallet and I said, look, I'm a Royal Marine. Don't need to check my bag. And they went, oh no, we do, we still have to. I went, really? They went, yeah, we have to check it. And I was like, fair enough. Pissed me off. I was like, I want to get home, and instead I had to empty all my kit out of my backpack. So they led me over at this little table out the way, and then started proceeding to go through my entire bag. Took about 10 minutes out my day, and I made small talk with them, and took the piss out of them a little bit. You know, I said things like, fucking hell, I've just watched about 11 heavily sweating 20-year-old Pakistani men with big beards and wires sticking out the backpacks, and they've all just walked straight past while you guys are fucking me about. And I said, I said, seriously, if there was a bank robbery and they said the suspect was a hairy 25-year-old northern man with a broad accent and baby blue eyes and a winning smile, I'd expect to get pulled over a lot. Like to put out an APB for someone that sounds just like me. I'd expect the coppers to pull me over. And I'd just chuckle and go, oh, well, occupational hazard. It happens. And I can understand why it's annoying if you're black and you get pulled over a lot more. But shit happens. If the black community wasn't responsible for a higher percentage of the crime per capita, then it wouldn't happen, would it? To conclude that story, they pulled all my shit out, I repacked my bag, took the piss out of them a little bit and said, next time a 20-year-old stabs someone, are you going to put out an APB like, stop everyone? But sir, reports suggest it was a 20-year-old black man. No, that would be politically incorrect. Stop everyone. 90-year-old Jewish women, stop them. 75-year-old Albanian dwarves, stop them. 8-year-old Polish chimney sweeps, pull them over as well. Do you see what I'm saying? It's fucking ridiculous. If you're black, sorry lads, it's an occupational hazard. There's a lot of crime in the black community. It's our duty to help the people that are law-abiding and to catch the criminals in the act. And we do need to police those people. But please don't flip out and play the race card for no reason. Because it's important for the well-being of your own communities that we police the streets properly and make the criminals live in fear of the police department and not the other way around. That's me. Let me know what you think. I think I made my case quite eloquently there as to why we need the police to actually police the fucking streets. Like and share the video. And remember that Cressida and Sadiq are a pair of cunts. Cheers.